Hello, everyone. Welcome back. In today's lesson, we will look at the basics of HTML. We'll quickly look at the introduction to HTML. We will look at the basic elements, attributes, headings, paragraph, and other stuff, which covers all the basics of the HTML. So we will also look at some examples, and I will update the HTML document, and the browser gets updated with my changes there as well. So as I said, we'll cover the basic of HTML, and we will also see if there are any questions from the audience at the end. So HTML elements, and we will cover the HTML attributes, headings, paragraphs, and styles at the end as well. Links, images. All right. So let me create a basic HTML structure by giving an emit abbreviation, which is an exclamation mark and the new tab. That will create a basic of the HTML structure. So first, what is HTML? HTML stands for the Hypertext Markup Language, and it is the standard language for creating web pages. It describes the structure of a web page, and it consists of series of elements within the structure, and that's basically tells the browser to how to display the content. So what I'm going to do now is create the basic structure here. Doctype HTML declaration defines that this document is an HTML5 document, and the first tag is the HTML, which is the root element of the HTML. Next is the head element, contain meta information about the HTML pages. Then you have your body, defines the document's body, and it's in the container that is visible. All the headings, paragraphs, images, links, and everything goes within the body of the page. So let me give h1 main heading, paragraph as the first paragraph. I can also define a title here in the head. So title of the page is page 1, page title, basic, HTML basics. All right. I can, like I said, I can create this basic structure using a shortcut, which creates the structure of the page. I can make So basically you can type in the exclamation mark and just tab the Emmet abbreviation. So you get the basic structure here, which includes the language, includes the meta, includes the meta name, and the document title. So lesson 1, basic HTML basics. In the body, I will define a head, H1, first heading, can give a paragraph, the first paragraph. If I refresh the page, I can see the first heading and first paragraph is shown on the browser. It is also important to know that HTML headings are defined with H1 to H6 tags. H1 is the main heading. So I can define those in the document here and see how it shows and displays as well. So here the HTML, it has the HTML language, body, where all the information goes in. Headings are very important as the search engine uses the headings to index the structure and content of your web pages. So users often skims a page by its heading, so it's important to have proper heading structure. So H1 being the top level heading and H6 being the least important heading. H1 to H6. You can change or add the style for the font size as well to make the headings bigger or small. I define heading 2, heading 3, third heading, fourth heading, fifth heading, and the sixth heading. Once I refresh the browser, I should be able to see the 6 headings are displayed accordingly, as you can see from first heading to the 6th heading. For the paragraph, I can add a couple more. First paragraph, a second paragraph here, and a third paragraph. Gets updated. So HTML paragraphs are defined with the p tags. That's HTML paragraphs. Defined with the p tag. Next, we will look at the the links. And HTML links are defined with an A tag. And the link's destination is specified in the href attribute. So we'll see that in a bit. Defining an A tag. The link destination is specified in the href attribute. So A starts with an A space href. Then I give the link destination. And define the text for the link. So when I click on it, it should open the destination page. So HTML links are basically hyperlinks. You can click on a link to jump from one document or to another. So next we will look at the image tag. HTML images are defined with the img tag, and the source file is defined with src. And if there is an alt text for that image, if you need to provide, you can add an alt attribute as well. So images are defined with the img tag. The source file is defined with src. So I start with an img to add an image. Img src is equal. It's in the images folder. Imgs images. It will take me to the images folder. And imags slash. Now it will show me what images I have in the folder. So I'm just going to check the post image, alichecks.com. I'm going to give the width as 150 and height as 50 for the image. Let's change that to 200. Refresh the browser and I should be able to see the image showing up here. Yeah, so that's the image that's coming from the images folder. I can also give an example with the alt attribute. for that image, for a second image. So the alt attributes is helpful if the image for some reason cannot be displayed or if there's an error. So that is also important. Alt attribute is important for people with disabilities, for the screen reader user. So the screen reader reads the alt for the image and notifies the user what type of image it is and details for that image. So it's important to give an alt text for the image if you are trying to make your site accessible to people with disabilities. So the alt attribute is helpful. So img src is equal to images. I'll select the second image from the folder and give an alt text. For example, a man on a horse, and I will give the width and the height. Let's say the width is 300 and 300, and the height is equal to 200. I refresh the browser. I should be able to see that image showing up. There you go. All right, so that is the image. Another thing that I wanted to show here is the formatting. The formatting is basically used to format the text, whether to make display special types of text. For example, bold, strong, emphasized. So within the HTML styles attribute, I can create an example of, let's say, a paragraph or a heading. So I'll start with paragraph P. Let's say the fourth paragraph. And I can, once I refresh the browser, you see the fourth paragraph showing here in the browser. And I can format that, probably add a color to the text. For that, I have to go in the P tag, and style is equal to, I can give the color as red and refresh it. That changes the color of the font. I can also change the size of the font as well. So let me write another paragraph, fifth paragraph, and I can add size to the paragraph. Style is equal to, I can give font size as 650 pixels. Once I refresh it, the font size for the fifth paragraph text shows up in the 50 pixel. All right, so this is the basic of the HTML tag and some very basic understanding of what the headings, paragraphs, links, images, and the style is. I will open the floor for questions and see if I have any questions in the chat. I'm just typing it here to see everyone can see that they can ask questions with regards to this tutorial. We will be covering HTML specific to accessibility, web accessibility, and what needs to be taken care of for from an accessible standpoint to satisfy the WCAG 2.1 AA standards. So I see some questions in the chat. The very first question is, are all images have alt text? So do all images have alt text? All right, from an accessibility standpoint, it is important to note that providing alt text for images is crucial for web accessibility, as it allows users who are blind or have low vision to understand the content of the images on a website. Alt text should be descriptive enough and convey the purpose and the content of the image in a very concise manner, for example. And if you're working as a web developer or a designer, it is important to make sure that all images have an appropriate alt attribute and that the alt text accurately reflects the content and the purpose. There's a second question as well in the chat. Are links descriptive and meaningful? Yes, absolutely. So it is important to note as well, the links are a crucial component of web accessibility, and they should be descriptive and provide context about the target of the link. So descriptive and meaningful link, meaning it's helping users with disabilities, those who use screen readers, to navigate and understand the content of a web page more easily. And the links should provide a clear and a concise description of the target of the page and should not use generic terms like click here or read more. And again, if you're designing a web page, or if you're a web developer or a designer, it's important to ensure that links on your website are descriptive enough and provide context about the target of the link. This will make your website more accessible to users with disabilities and help them to navigate and understand the content of your web page more easily. Thank you for joining, and we will connect in our next session to talk more about web accessibility.